Hello, thanks for being in a new video. This time I'm going to tell you what I liked most and least about the Infinix GT 30 Pro after testing it, in case you're considering buying it. So the time has come to tell you not to buy the Infinix GT 30 Pro without watching this video. Consider its launch price, which in Mexico has been 6,299 pesos. It must be said, it is a very competitive device in its price. But as with all cell phones, we can find pros and cons. Let's start with what I like the most. The design is quite original, very attractive for gamers. It even has RGB, and it is striking that it also has touch triggers in the red magic style to take advantage of them while you are playing. So clearly its focus is aimed at gamers. The screen is a Mold-125K with 144 Hz, 4,500 nits at peak brightness, and 2,304 Hz of attenuation. So it is a screen that wherever you want to analyze it is very good, even is HDR content compatible. The truth is that for the price you're paying, it provides an absolutely stunning screen display. Additionally, it comes with stereo sound, which is quite impressive. Furthermore, even if you're using wireless headphones, it supports both the LHDC and LDAC codecs. This means you can enjoy a very high-resolution audio experience without any wires, which is a fantastic feature to have. The selfies have honestly not let me down, which is surprising because it's a cell phone primarily designed for gaming. However, it still manages to deliver selfies of a quality that is quite competitive. Even when using portrait mode, these selfies manage to keep the object sharply in focus. This truth really caught my attention, and in fact, the camera in it can really stand out in certain aspects. For instance, the shutter speed is impressively fast and reacts exceptionally well. Additionally, the ultra-wide camera includes autofocus, which is quite rare, particularly in a device like this. We expected it to primarily focus on delivering high performance. However, despite that, it does not overlook the photographic section, providing us with a solid hardware setup. In fact, it records in 4K at 60 frames per second, which is truly exceptional for its range. It performs excellently in this aspect, and even the front camera records in 4K, albeit at 30 frames per second. Nevertheless, it remains an impressive feature. So the cell phone is not just a great choice for gamers, but also for content creators. It provides access to excellent video quality in terms of resolution. Of course, it may not be a top-tier flagship video device, but it still offers 4K level detail. You can even capture slow-motion scenes in full HD at 240 frames per second, which is something that not even some more costly cell phones can offer. And the fast motion mode functions excellently. It can record in 4K, allowing you to go up to 5,400 times speed to capture stunning time-lapse videos, particularly of landscapes. The dual recording mode is also impressively good, providing some versatile settings. This mode, as you know, is designed to record using both the rear and front cameras simultaneously, and honestly, it is implemented exceptionally well. Additionally, it will provide us with 2 years of Android updates along with 3 years of security patches. I know it's not the highest on the market, but remember, it's a device with a strict price. True, to be honest, I really thought it wouldn't even have any sort of update policy at all. But surprisingly, it actually holds its own quite well in this area too. Additionally, Infinix includes their complete AI suite, which features their Folax AI Studio. This is their proprietary voice assistant, meaning they don't rely heavily on Gemini. And trust me, it's quite competitive. It can search for information, handle cell phone tasks for you, and do a whole lot more than you might expect. It includes a call assistant, a translation assistant, social features, writing tools, and recording summaries. Generate wallpapers, well, it does the whole suite, and of course, it also has the Google add-ons like Circle to Search and Gemini. And for security, it is a software that also comes very complete with secure folder, application lock, clone applications, repair mode, children mode, clone the system. Well, it has too many options, even alerts against theft, so that the phone starts ringing if someone unplugged it from the charger without you noticing. It includes an on-the-screen fingerprint reader for a modern touch and supports wireless charging. And also reverse wireless charging. It's a really very competitive device to take care that the battery doesn't deteriorate that much. It also offers us charge lock, smart charging, battery bypass. In connectivity, offers us 5G, Wi-Fi 6, infrared for universal remote control, and even perceived quite agile when opening applications. In my test, it took 2 seconds on average to open each of the 16 applications that I ran. It performs exceptionally well, and we won't notice it be starting any apps. It operates smoothly, and it comes with 200 GB of storage. And as I told you, it has a very special focus on gamers. So it offers, for example, macros, so that with a single touch you can execute a lot of sequences of gestures. It also has a virtual sight, virtual buttons that can be enabled with phone movements. Well, it has very good add-ons And the performance is also very good when gaming. It truly is among the top devices I've evaluated within its price range. However, let me share what I didn't like. It took some time to identify these points, but here's what I found unappealing. The initial point to consider is that this product will be exclusively available for purchase online. Therefore, if you are someone who prefers not to shop online, this could be a significant barrier, posing potential challenges when attempting to buy it. Additionally, it's important to note that the device lacks a headphone jack. For a gadget that aims to cater to gaming enthusiasts, this feature is certainly a drawback. Without a headphone jack, you might experience audio latency when using Bluetooth headphones, which could affect your gaming experience. If you connect USB-C to your headphones, you can't charge it unless you buy another adapter. Well, things got complicated and I believe they managed to correct that issue. The battery of 5,200 mAh, to be honest, fell short. In my YouTube video playback test, it only lasted 11 hours and 41 minutes. Devices with smaller batteries have surpassed 18 hours, for instance. So I'm not sure what happened there, but the battery doesn't appear to be the best. Additionally, just to mention another point of criticism, I should tell you that the zoom slider operates in reverse. All cell phones zoom in when you swipe right and out when you swipe left, but this one does the opposite. Also, the ultra-wide camera may distort at the edges. I can overlook it since many devices in this range lack an ultra-wide camera, but it does have some distortion. And lastly, it doesn't support microSD. If you've already purchased it, share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your favorite and least favorite aspects of this phone. Others might be interested in buying it and would appreciate your input. We've reached the end of this video for now. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, feel free to let us know. We'll see you again next time, and until then, take care.